Congregation near Tamid's Rabbi Sanford Axelrod is getting ready to take a trip to Israel from Saturday, January 27th through Sunday, February 4th. I had the chance to ask Rabbi some questions about this important trip and how members of the temple can help. Rabbi, you've been to Israel many, many times. Why is this trip going to be special for you?
So you're right. I've probably been to Israel 20, 25 times over the years, but I've never traveled to Israel when they've been in the midst of a war. And I've been after a war, before a war, but never actually during a war. But more than that, I understand from what I've read and from the people I've talked to, after October 7th, everything changed. For example, I was there in February of 2023 on a special trip, and I participated in a demonstration at that time in which there was over 100,000 people protesting the judicial reform. And those demonstrations were occurring week after week after week. And all that has come to a grinding halt, and the country has now pulled together to fight this war with Hamas. But from what I've read, and this is what I want to discover when I talk to the Israelis, their mood has changed. Their sense of invulnerability has changed. The weight of the hostages is constant. And so I think I'm going to be visiting Israel with a different spirit when I travel this time.
Rabbi, tell us about the group that's organizing this event. Who are they and why did they decide this would be a good time to go?
Since the war started, there's been different missions to Israel. A lot of them are very short. There was a mission I was invited on that was just a day and a half. This one's a week long. And it is being organized by the Central Conference of American Rabbis, which is my professional organization. Myself and about 39 other rabbis from around the United States and Europe are going to be attending this. A lot of people say, well, why are you going? And I'm going there to show solidarity. I'm going there to bear witness. And I'm going there to bring, quite frankly, some cash, some money that will be used to support the IDF and the soldiers. All three of those things are important for me personally, but they're also important for Israel. And I think that my colleagues feel the same way. We're going there really to do whatever we can to show Israel that they are not alone, that every Jew must respond by supporting Israel in any which way they can. And as rabbis, we're often the eyes and ears and voice of Jews everywhere. And so I want to come back and share my thoughts with everybody. And while I'm there, let the Israelis know that we are with them.
You have a very ambitious week-long schedule. Every day is packed with different places you're going, events you're going to be taking part in. What couple of events are you most looking forward to participating in, and at what locations too?
Travel organization is called J2, and they are experts in planning itineraries in Israel. And of course, this is a specially tailored visit that they have organized very quickly for us. Although we're not necessarily going down south to Gaza, we are going to be meeting with those who were directly affected. For example, the members of Kibbutz Nahal Oz, which is adjacent to the border with Gaza, was deeply affected and traumatized by what happened. They literally moved the members of that kibbutz from the south to Kibbutz Mishmar HaEmek in the north. And so we're going to go to Kibbutz Mishmar HaEmek, and we'll hear testimonies from the community, and we'll show support for families waiting for the return of their loved ones currently held hostage in Gaza. I'm also going to be learning about what the reform movement, which has been growing in Israel over the last few decades, but they have stepped up also to provide emotional support, spiritual support, and then doing whatever they can to provide financial support and support for the soldiers during this time. We're going to be meeting with representatives of Reformed synagogues and Reformed community. So those two things I'm looking forward to. And lastly, there's actually a Reform rabbi who's an Israeli. His name is Gilad Kariv. I met him briefly in February when I was there last year. He's also going to be meeting with us. And so, as a member of the Knesset, the Israeli parliament, he will be able to tell us, how things have changed, what the politics are going on as they fight this war, and also how some of the things that were literally going on before the war, whether they're going to be revisited, whether they're being put on the back burner permanently. So it's kind of an update on Israel and Israeli politics.
You touched on it briefly, Rabbi, but how can members of the congregation near Tamid help you and the people of Israel on this trip?
As you listen to this, if you want to send cash, money to the Stand With Israel funded congregation near Tamid, I think that's important. Some people are going there and they are bringing items, socks and diapers and all those kinds of things. But our group realized that although those are well-intentioned and needed, really what the communities at this stage need is actual support so that they can buy the specific items that they need. So I'm going to be bringing that to the communities and to the soldiers that I meet. So that's one thing that people can do, is support our Stand With Israel Fund. We're having some of the students in religious school, but adults can do this too, write letters to the soldiers. If people get me those letters by Wednesday of next week, that would be something that is easily something I can pack in my suitcase and I can hand to the soldiers and let them know that we are thinking of them. And I think I'm going to be speaking at services. I'm going to be back on February 4th. So the services that occur immediately thereafter, I would love for people to come to that service and hear my firsthand account. You have the date?
February 9th.
February 9th. And I think services that night are going to start at 6:15.
Rabbi, it sounds really exciting. We all hope you're super careful while you're there. Nisiya Tova, safe travels, and we'll look forward to hearing from you back on February 9th.
Thank you so much, Leslie.
If you'd like to donate to the CNT Stands With Israel Fund, go to our website at lvneartamid.org. We hope to see you at services on Friday, February 9th, when Rabbi will tell the congregation all about his trip to Israel.